Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we'll be reviewing the Hyundai Ioniq 5N. As always, before we get into this video, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So when it comes to the EV specs, we've got an 84 kilowatt hour battery pack, 641 horsepower, 568 pound-feet of torque, dual electric motor setup. And by the way, those power figures are in the boost function. If you're not in the boost function, the horsepower is closer to 600, still a crazy amount. And then driving range, what I've been able to actually get is in the mid to high 200s, depending on how much fun I have with the car. Before I move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you're going to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So when it comes to styling, the Ioniq 5N actually looks really cool in my opinion. Really crazy looking video game-esque headlights, as you can see. And then the coloration on this, especially with this matte paint, just looks crazy. And then our tire and wheel setup is 275 by 35 by 21 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels, you've got the silver with the black, and it's mostly open, so it's got a cool look. You've got the red, well, it's kind of actually orange with the brake caliper. Yeah, it's more of an orange color. Same thing with this trim here at the bottom. But anyways, you can see crazy body lines. I mean, this thing gets a lot of attention because of the bright color and it's matte in the finish, but also it just has so many crazy lines. Now this leads us to the key fob. We've got our lock and unlock function, remote start. You got the N logo there on the back, and pretty straightforward. Now popping into the rear, there we go, pop open, we've got a power hatch. And again, this is ultimately like a crossover, so we've got pretty good storage back here overall. Not massive, but you know, it gets the job done. When you're all done, just press that, that'll pop that down. And then you got the cool light bar design here on the back end. Again, very video game-esque. And then you guys can see here with that that orange coloration, you got the spoiler there at the top. Let me know what you guys think about the style, but I think that Hyundai did a really good job with the Ioniq 5N. I think that it's a good looking EV. And this leads us inside where you actually find soft touch at the top of the door panel and down below, and you got this cool design on the door panel. And then here are the seats, I like the trim. Then popping in, it's pretty easy to get in. Room back here is nice. Got some USB ports, and then headroom's actually better than you'd think. And this leads us up front as well. So you can see again with the stitching and then the cool design down below. All of our window controls, mirror adjustments, mirrors do power fold in, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And then here are those front seats. They are manually adjustable. Pretty cool looking pedals down below. And then you can see stuff with the stability control, for example, the opening for the hatch, all of that. And then it's a lot of soft touch on the dash. Pretty fun. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, there's quite a bit happening here. You've got preferred trim on either side so you can get a better grip. Paddle shifters for the fake gear shift stuff. Yep, that's right. That's like your boost function. You get your drive mode select, and then these are different things. That's kind of like your hardcore driving mode. This turns on the fake engine and all that. Yeah. Anyways, we got stocks here on the back, and then you've got a column shifter too. And yeah, we've got this gauge cluster here in the center, which shows you different bits of information on the vehicle. You can see the different drive modes, and then again, there's that N mode. Yeah, it lets you bounce off the rev limiter. It's kind of dorky, but it's also cool, right? 360 camera system, so trajectory lines turn with the steering wheel. You got the cool exterior shot as well. Good resolution overall. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, quick response time. It's easy to use and it's all connected in one unit, just like other modern Hyundai product. And then again, you got soft touch, and I wouldn't say this is like the most beautiful design, but it's like a lot of straight lines and it works with the theme of the car. We've got our analog controls here for the climate system, dual zone climate, and some radio controls and all of that. Wireless phone charging pad, which the lighting in this shot's horrible, sorry about that. USB ports as well. Got this for the camera system, your parking sensors, little charging port area, some cup holders and all of that. Center console, and I like how this is all open. It's definitely nice. Regular rear view mirror, and then no sunroof. Okay, so here's a quick look at our Windows sticker. You can see 2025 Ioniq 5N, all of that. Shows you the EPA range. Like I said, I've been getting a little bit more than that on average. Not that much more, it depends on the driving. But anyway, 68,685 is the total MSRP. Let's see how it drives. Let's quickly talk about visibility. There's over the hood, both mirrors. Got the rest through here, and let us set off. Well, starting off in the Ioniq 5N, and I figured the best way to start this off is to do the boost mode. Oh, yep, it's fast. Oh, head rush. Giant head rush. Let me actually lean the seat back a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. So in that boost function, if you have it in gear shift mode, right, we'll just call it that, it takes it out of that and then throws it in the normal like EV acceleration. So that's kind of like your, we'll call it your plaid mode, right, your crazy acceleration, and it really is insanely quick. It gives you a similar head rush, like I mentioned, plaid gives you a similar head rush to a plaid. So yeah, you got the fake gear shifts. It's really weird, and I think the weirdest part is you can bounce off the rev limiter. It's kind of dorky. The other thing that's weird, let me pop it into sport mode. It'll do pops sometimes. Let me see if I can get it to do it. Of course it doesn't want to do it now. There you go. It does a little... It won't do it on the... So sometimes it'll do it on the upshift and downshift. It just depends on... Guess you have to go higher RPMs maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, very weird. So what it's doing is it's basically using the regen system to mimic gears, and it's mimicking a dual clutch. You can tell with how quick it is and kind of how aggressive it can get when you bounce off the fake rev limiter. It's actually pretty fun. And what I will say is it's not the most efficient thing to do when it comes to EV driving, of course. If you want to be the most efficient, then yeah, you're gonna have it in the normal EV mode. But what I will say is, compared to a traditional sports car, it's way more efficient. And here's what I mean. So like if I do this in a sports car, like I want to have some fun, I want to hoon a little bit, right? I'm gonna downshift some here. Can I get into first yet? And you can also go into quote unquote first while you're rolling at about 30 miles an hour. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I can go into first. Like, you don't do that in an automatic car or a manual car. It's a money shift. So like that uses up some juice, but the downshifting and acceleration, it's not nearly as juice heavy as in an ICE car, because in an ICE car, right, you're engine braking, you're using up more fuel, whereas this, I'm doing regen, so I'm actually capturing some of the energy that I'm wasting with the fun performance driving. I think it's pretty cool. I just did a commute yesterday with this, and you know, I used up a decent amount of the energy, but I didn't use up that much more than I would have normally used up in an EV. And again, I was having fun driving it, so I think that's the one benefit. It made me wonder, like, EVs, it seems like they're not too practical for day-to-day driving for a lot of people. Could EVs make sense for like a fun performance car, but something that isn't crazy on gas, because it doesn't use gas, and you know, the regen helps you recoup some things? Maybe pop it into the crazy mode. So this is where we should be able to get a really good acceleration. There you go. You guys hear that? Yeah, it's so funny. It kind of reminds me of a GTR with the fake speaker gargles you get out of the back. It's cool. So regardless, this is a cool bit of tech. I'm sure that more automakers are going to adopt this with EVs. And so yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. I don't know if this is going to sell people on EVs per se, but I do think that this is a cool step forward for the technology. And oh look, it's a little is it a dog? Is it a cat? It's a dog. Look at the little guy. Oh, cutie. And it's probably confused because the car's not making So, you know, most cars have an engine rumbling. It's like, what is that thing? Anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this technology. And if this was in a different package, I don't know, like a pickup truck or something, would this sell you more on an EV if it has a fake gear shifts, or are you still not sold because of the whole idea of charging and all of that?